Welcome, my audience, my fellows in the Nerd Kingdom, in the Omniverse. How art thou this fine weekend? I don't know what that was. You shifted. Alright. Only got a couple people in here. Curious. I haven't checked anything else. I haven't seen what anybody else is up to. And of course it's being done. Here we go. Doesn't look like anybody else is streaming this weekend. Hell yeah. At least right now, at least. Oh. How be thy people? Going good so far. What's up, Carson? Love the profile pic there. Christopher Reeve, man. Classic. What's up, Thomas? Twitter is down to everyone except the people who are verified because of temporary feature Elon Musk added. I'm not verified and I'm able to use it. You just can't exceed the limits that were placed. Once you hit that limit, you're done, which is really quick to achieve just doom scrolling through Twitter. Because once you see, what was it, like 600 posts, you're done for the day, which is ridiculous. Oh my lord. Just how far that app has fallen is ridiculous to me. But I'm still on Instagram, I'm still on everything else, so whatever, fuck it, I guess. For now, at least. What's up, DJ? Season 3 of The Witcher is good so far. Can't wait for the last 3 episodes. The trailer wasn't that great. Could have been better. Honestly, after the first teaser, I never watched any of the other trailers. So, I don't know. I didn't know if they were, I don't know what the trailers were like. They just kept coming out when I was too busy doing other things, so I just never watched them. But I was very impressed with the first 5 episodes so far. I've been having a damn good time with it, and yeah, I'm really excited for season 3 part 2 next month. The season 11 trailer for Futurama came out a while ago. Can't wait to watch it. If you get a chance to watch it, I would start from season 1 and work your way through this new season. I've seen every episode of Futurama from season 1 to the original end, and it's because of that, I was kind of annoyed when they announced that they're doing a brand new season. So I haven't seen the trailer, and I'm curious how they're going to explain it, but I don't know. I'll check out the trailer. I don't know if I'll react to it, but I might watch the trailer. What's up, Good Vibes? I'm doing pretty good. Early start to well, not early start to the day. I only woke up around 2. I think I was awake until 6 last night, working on those Witcher reactions, because I was like, I want to put 4 and 5 out together because 4 directly leads into 5, and I don't know, I wanted to release them as a pair, so I was working on that most of the night, which is another reason why I still need to record the movie poll winner, which I haven't done yet. I'll be doing that later tonight, and also hopefully playing more Final Fantasy, because I have not been able to turn that game on once since last weekend. So that's hopefully what I'm going to do tonight. After the stream, I gotta go to the store, gotta actually get some stuff for the house, and then I'll be back to do some of that other junk. I've been meaning to watch Severance because I've heard nothing but good things, but haven't got around to it. Guess now I've got motivation to join you on this journey. So that's one thing I like about this whole thing too, and why going into Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. 2, even though like once upon a time I've seen season 1 and most of season 2, I don't remember much, but there is like one big thing that I do remember from season 1. It was like one of the big twists and reveals. Because I know a lot of people, when they watch the shows that I react to, they're watching it for the first time along with me as well. So I gotta be careful not to spout that out. Good thing is, though, I don't remember jack shit about anything else. And Severance will just be, I don't even really know what the premise is about. I've seen the opening intro sequence because Corridor Crew did a breakdown on the intro for the show, and outside of that, I don't even know what the show is about. I've just heard really good stuff about it, and apparently not a lot of people reacted to it, so I don't know. We'll see what happens there. It was very hot yesterday. It was 105 Fahrenheit. It was literally, where are you at? Like, where do you live? God damn. I think it was like 80 something here yesterday. I don't remember. It was very humid and muggy yesterday here. I think had it not been, it wouldn't have been that bad where I'm at. The smoke is kind of starting to clear a little bit. It's not as thick as it was earlier in the week. Can't wait till you finish Dark, and on the other hand, I'll be sad once you have seen it completely. Yeah, that's the sad thing about finishing these shows, man. The ride is so much fun, and then you get the end, and you're just like, damn. Well, I hope the next thing gives me half as much of the high as the last one. Dark is going to be a hard show for a lot of other things to top. But then again, I don't go into shows like asking them to compare to something else that I've already watched. So, but yeah, Dark has been wild. But like a buddy of mine that I play D&D with, he's been recommending this show to me for like 6 years, and he's like, oh, he's finally watching it. So he talks to me about it every time we have one of our D&D sessions, about where I'm caught up to and stuff like that. So that's been kind of fun. What's up, Summer? Hola, hope your Saturday is going good. So far it is. So far it's pretty nice. I was just about to ask about FF16 to see how far you'd come since posting. Oh my god, we're finally watching our first playthrough. It took forever, but there's 20 hours of cutscenes. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's the thing, man. There's so many cinematics in these games these days. And I'm all for that, man. The best way to tell the story sometimes is that way, and I know some people are like, man, I want to get back to the game. I was like, I'm there for the game and I'm there for the story, so it never really bogs me down too much. So I'm excited. I've had to mute everything because it's gotten to the point where, like, when I played the first time, you know, I was only 4 days late, and I was like, yeah, everybody's not posting spoilers, everybody's super respectful, but now we're like a week out, and now it's just like, oh no, everybody's has kept playing, so I've had to mute everything at this point. So I still haven't seen anything. So I'm excited to get deeper into it. What's up, Nightwhelmed? I'm doing good. Hope you're doing well. Happy Canada Day, man. Oh, is it Canada Day? Aw, are you gonna start more fires? I'm kidding. But be careful with fireworks, please. I live in Florida. Ooh, yeah. You get a double whammy on that. You're down in the heat and you got the blistering humidity. You're getting smoked too. Yeah, we just started getting it in a thinnish veil of it. I think Monday or Tuesday it creeped in, and it's slowly lightening up, but you can still kind of see it if you like look out over the mountain range. But yeah, we just finally got it. What's up, Adit? I'm doing pretty good. What about you? Then there are shows that you've been watching for so long and are so attached to that it feels like it's breaking your heart and soul when you're finished. Oh my god, man. It's a rough feeling, man, to reach the end of a show you've been watching for like half your life. It's so hard. FF16 was amazing. It was beautiful. The music was great and some really amazing characters. I really, really want to get back into it, man. I was a teenager, and I remember crying like a baby when Charm was done. Dude, I can't watch the Friends finale. I was watching that show growing up, and like when I just can't. It's really hard for me to rewatch the finale because like it just really tears me up. Dragon Ball Z, when that first ended, was a painful breakup. X-Files was a painful breakup. It's just every show, especially long ones. It's hard once you get to the end. I skipped my comment because I cussed. But have you seen the Dune 2 new trailer? It looks freaking good. I saw the first one when I went to the theater, which is why I didn't react to it on the channel. I saw it on the big screen, so obviously I didn't react to it. I know a new trailer came out this week. I haven't watched it. I think I just want to go and watch the movie when it comes out. I don't know if I'm going to react to the trailers anymore. Or at least the next set of trailers, probably not. But that's I haven't watched the new one, but I've seen the first full trailer that came out for it. What's up, Chosen? Saw a reaction to the season 3 finale of Superman and Lois, and your reaction to the cliffhanger was hilarious. Yeah, dude. Like, I knew we were getting a cliffhanger, right? You know, I've been talking about it, and I've been preparing you all, because I don't know that everybody keeps up with that kind of stuff. I was trying to keep everybody on a level set of expectations. Is that maybe a spoiler? Sure, kinda, I guess. But, you know, in lieu of not knowing if we were getting a fourth season, I thought I don't know. It'd be good to prepare yourself for that eventuality. But my lord, that is not what I expected to get. God damn. Not spoiler, but Sid still the daddy of FF16. Shit. But I want Gav to be my house husband, as he is the best boy. I don't know. I don't think I've met Gav yet, have I? That name doesn't sound familiar to me. I'm in Lower Ontario, and it can be thick here. Yeah, being up north in the thick of it all, I can't imagine. I saw when it first started off, like I saw the New York skylines, as many people did, and that was just kind of crazy, man. I can't imagine what it's like up in that area. I'm just glad we're getting a fourth season of Superman and Lois, because imagine season 3 was the final season. I know, dude. If that was the end, and that's the thing too, they didn't know, and they wrote it that way. So part of me was like, you motherfuckers you were willing to drop this as your last episode and leave us hanging. I was almost kind of mad at them in a way, more than I was mad at the episode itself ending. I was like, how dare you possibly do this to us? This one day I was on TikTok and replied to one of Greg Sykes, voice of Beast Boy, and he liked my reply. Hell yeah, man. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I always get a little giddy when somebody actually like notices a tweet of mine or something like that, or a comment. Doesn't happen too often, but it's happened a few times, and it just gives me glee, man. Dude, Superman and Lois finale. I watched so many reactions in that final frame, but yours on these is by far my favorite because it was just so hilarious and heartfelt. Yeah, I'm sure somebody, nobody's commented it, but I'm sure someone was like, oh, fake reaction, dude. I knew a cliffhanger was coming. I know we were going to get a resolution, but again, it was such a mixed bag of emotions, and fuck that final cut. That final shot. God. Dude, we got Bizarro Doomsday, which some people don't know is like a separate kind of Doomsday. But this is still a different version of it, because this doesn't even look like Bizarro Doomsday or Bizarro Doom. They're very, the design is a little different. I like that the suit has become part of his flesh. Like, you can see the boot coloration on his feet and stuff too, from where the suit became one with his actual body. It's kind of cool. I just wish there was more going on the head, like a little more spikies on his head and face or something like that to balance out the design. I talked about that in the video, but yeah, I thought it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. What's up, Justine? How are you? My husband and I got a new addition to our family. Oh, congratulations on that one. A new 8-week-old male Pekingese. You're a family of 3. His name is Bucky. I chose it. Named him after Bucky Barnes. Of course you did. Of course you did. That's awesome, though. Congratulations on that. I've been trying to woo this stray cat that's been frequenting our house for a few months. Making some baby steps. Might just straight up capture it at some point. We'll see. I don't know if anyone here has seen Warrior, but the first 3 episodes of Season 3 dropped on Thursday and is so good. Top tier show with easily the best hand-to-hand combat scenes on TV, in my opinion. I've heard nothing but great things about it. I know the cast behind it is some martial arts and stunts greats. That's one of those shows that I really do want to watch one of these days, for sure. For that reason. It's still crazy how they were foreshadowing Bizarro becoming Doomsday since season 2. And that's why I thought, because it was already a fake out, that's one reason I thought they were going to go a different direction with it. Like, because he's a zombie, I thought they were definitely going to go like a Solomon Grundy route, or maybe something altogether different. No, we went full circle with that one. Full circle. Don't get me started on Stargate SG-1 when it ended. It was my absolute favorite. I knew I wasn't going to see most of these actors for a while. That's true. Did Poppy sneak into my office? Yeah, she's asleep under the desk. She is now a stirring, almost on cue. She is coming out. She has now been freed. But of course not as these characters, because it was done, and I swear it felt like a grieving a friend. That's the thing for me too. Like, that's what it feels like to me. I feel like either a part of me or someone I know has died when that happened, when a show ends, which is kind of crazy, but that's just how invested I get. I get my excellent sense of humor from that show. What's up, Simulator? I'm the only one who finds it odd that Lex Luthor on Superman and Lois has no history with Superman specifically. It seems Lois is his nemesis, and Superman is just the bodyguard he needs to get out of the way. Thoughts? Oh no, they have a long-standing history. They've talked about it a lot. It's just Lois is the one that brought him down. So Superman's always been the muscle. He's always been butting heads with him. They've been butting heads for 20 years. Or not even 20 years. For how long? Superman's been active for like, what, 30 years in this universe? So, like, they have a history. It's just his grudge is with Lois at this point because her article helped put him behind bars for those last 20 years. It's just right now she's just got his laser focus because of that personal reason right there. But he's still got that history and hatred of Superman. It's just it's secondary to his current concerns right now. What's up, Avik Das? What happened to Twitter? What's rate limited? You can only look at so many posts per day now. 4 years ago today, Spider-Man Far From Home released in theaters. Damn, that's crazy. 4 days till 1 year of my membership. Hell yeah, Avik. Been on here for the long haul, man. I appreciate that. You think Flash Season 8 was Eric Wallace's best written season because we got so many plot twists and great episodes? Maybe. Like, if we're talking overall, but I still think the back half of Season 9 was better than all of Season 8. For me. The Bizarro Doomsday you talking about, his name in the comics is Super Doom. No, Super Doom is a different character than Bizarro Doomsday. Because Super Doom is Clark, or a Clark clone, I can't remember which. Super Doom and Doomsday is not, Bizarro Doomsday is yeah. Yeah, Super Doom is Clark when he's infected with the Doomsday virus. Then there's Doomzarro. Oh, actually, yeah, I forgot about Doomzarro. Doomzarro is, actually a little more closer to what we got in the show. Blindway had a good point. Mannheim had made the reverse of cancer for Bizarro, something that's inside him that prevents him from dying. That's a good point. Oh, that's a good point. By experimenting on him with our version of cancer, it would do the opposite to him. That's a really good way to look at that. Those guys, they are smart. It's actually just Superman mixed with Doomsday, not Bizarro with Doomsday. But he's Bizarro. He is Bizarro. So, like, I don't know what you mean there. Imagine Bizarro finds out Mannheim was the one who brought him back. I don't know. We don't know how much sentience he has right now. Have you heard of this YouTuber called Technoblade? Sounds familiar. May he rest in peace. I don't know. It sounds familiar, but I can't say I'm sure. I've been watching Good Doctor. It's pretty good. I don't know why it gets the hate. It's just like many things, Twitter, social media will find a random clip of other shows that show it in a weird place, and that's all people want to talk about. And since most people aren't in on the show or the shows that this happens to, becomes the show's identity in the greater scheme of things. Superman and Lois is a great show, man. It's just perfect. It's so fucking good, man. If they don't adapt Reign of the Supermen in season 4, I will be disappointed. Yeah, somebody made a good point in the comments that I just didn't think about, because we know Tyler Hoechlin is still listed as a series regular, and if they do Reign of the Supermen, how could you do Reign of the Supermen while Clark is dead, while having him in most of the episodes? Because Cyborg Superman would be Tyler Hoechlin. So they could do something like that, I guess. I like the new take on Doomsday, but of course the Snyder dude bros jumped on that. Of course they did. And I was like, dude, you guys are the last to bitch about how different it is from the comics. Yes, dude, I can't with any of them anymore. And I like the Snyder cut. I like Man of Steel. I'm not a fan of Batman v Superman. So, yeah, but like, there's people that just take it to some weird ass level. It's insane to me. It is a cult at this point. This is why I hope Tal-Rho returns in season 4. I hope so too, because as far as I know, scheduling was the only reason he wasn't in season 3, so hopefully they work that out for the next season. Especially with the writer's strike, they might be able to work something out a little bit easier, since things are lightened up a little bit. People will always compare Batman and Spider-Man, but Batman's rich and Spider-Man's poor. I've never, I mean, not never, but like, do people compare Batman and Spider-Man a lot? I don't feel like those two are the two you would compare. I've always heard Batman compared with Iron Man. I've heard those two compared a lot. But Batman and Spider-Man, not so much. I feel like you can bring Tal-Rho back and do Reign of the Superman in season 4. I hope so. I hope so. I miss Tal, man. I really do miss him. He's a character that the show created that I just absolutely adore. The show has never talked about what happened between Superman and Lex before he got framed. I mean, they've mentioned stuff. Like, their history is alluded to. The Superman Lois ending reaction was perfect. Omni, I felt the same way. Hell yeah, man. I've got mixed feelings on the finale's resolution for John Jordan's arc. I absolutely adored the wrap-up of Clois's story and how it springboards into next season. Yes, the Clois stuff, I absolutely did love that. John and Jordan stuff, I kind of see what you mean, because they did just kind of like say, get over it, and that's kind of it. But we'll see what happens. That hesitation on the Flash question. Which one? Which one? Like, about the season? I disagree. Flash season 8 is better than season 9 overall. Season 9 just did not work for me. 9 and 10 were the only good episodes. Yeah, I think from 9... Again, we can agree to disagree, but season 8 was a train wreck. It wasn't season 7. It was better than season 7, but season 8 was just as much of a train wreck overall. It is better than the first half of season 9, but I don't think it's better than... I don't think any of season 8 is better than any of the episodes season 9 and onward, or episode 9 and onward of 9. Unless there's an episode, like an episode or episodes in season 8 that I just don't remember. The fact that Superman and Lois Doomsday looks better, way better than BVS Doomsday is crazy to me. I mean, the CGI's better. I can't say which one I like the design of more. I still would like something a little more akin to the actual comic Doomsday, but I'm fine with what they did. Just joined the chat after watching your Witcher 3-5 reaction. Loving the season so far. Freya's choreography is really good. Yes, it was. It really, really was. I liked what they've been doing with her throughout this and giving her a lot of time to like play around and show off her skill set and her smarts. It's very Legend of Korra-y to me, like especially in the episode where they were on the ferry. Like it's just like it just gave me Legend of Korra vibes because, you know, with I don't know if anybody's seen Legend of Korra, but like where she struggles very much with airbending because it's the opposite of her personality. Like she's a master of firebending, waterbending, earthbending. Like she can do all those things, and it frustrates her to no end when she can't figure out airbending. So she's like, oh, well, I've got these mastered. I'll focus on those. And Siri kind of does the same thing when she just can't wrap her head around magic because it's not something that comes naturally to her, even though she's like gifted, like her potential is high because Korra's the Avatar. Her potential for airbending is higher than anybody else, even normal airbenders. The same is said with Siri, but the philosophical part of it, she's just running into it like a brick wall. But when it comes to physical training, to studying, to strategy, to the things that would make her a good Witcher, like she's really good at it. So like, she's like, well, I can't figure out this magic stuff. Let's just focus on beating shit with swords. And like, she just shows off a little bit. It's just really good. It's just really, I like what they did there. Also, fellow WV. I was talking about Super Doom when I said Super Doom. Gotcha. Thank you, Simulator, for clearing that up. Isn't Technoblade the popular Minecraft YouTuber with that deep voice? Possibly. But if they pass, man, like, rest in peace. It's always rough, like, when like, a fellow creator and whatnot goes down. I'm just not familiar with their work. I apologize. To my French, speaking not actually French, ears, it almost sounds like you're saying Doomzoro. And wow, that's a visual. That would be interesting, like a Doomsday version of Zorro. The Cobalt Blue arc was wasted and a missed opportunity because we got Eddie as a villain for one episode. Yeah. It was still a fun episode to me. I mean, I think they did better with him than how they treated Godspeed in the previous season. Godspeed's barely a character. I think Season 4 is going to have a lot of mind games and subterfuge. It might also include Lex trying to woo John into his machinations. John or Jordan into his machinations? Because I feel like he would try to do that to Jordan if that happens. Question, do you think Arrow Season 8 isn't a good season or even a good final season? Because I think it is a perfect final season. Overall, the best Arrowverse final season ever. Where's your part 2? Even the spin-off episode doesn't even ruin the episodes and make people's season not only pay tribute to the previous seasons, also a perfect way to leave things open. Did you have another one? No, that was in it. No, I agree with you. Like, we're just looking at the shows at face value for their individual final season episodes. Yeah, Arrow's hands down the best final season. Like, it's not even a competition for me. Technoblade is a Minecraft who died due to cancer. Oh, god damn it, man. Fuck cancer, man. That sucks. See, I'm always so paranoid about that shit too, because one, it does run in my family. I dodged the diabetes thing. My brother got that one, but I'm due for something, I'm sure. I'll probably, knowing my luck, I'm gonna catch the Alzheimer's bug, or I'm gonna catch the, oh fuck, cancer bug. I say bug, but you know what I mean. Gene, rather. We'll see what happens, though. I'm sure there's a continuity with depictions of... I don't know what word you're trying to say right there. Contrarian? Contrarian? With depictions of autism and... Oh, I know what I know what you're trying to say. I just don't know what word you meant to say there. Controversy? Oh, probably that. Controversy with the depictions of autism in Good Doctor, and I would not be able to comment on that with any real insight. Yeah, me either. I'm sure that has a large part of it. as well, but a lot of people are just focusing on the ridiculousness from an outsider's view on that one scene. Arrow had the best final season easily. Oh, yes. Hands down. Like I said, I don't think it's even a competition in that case. Do they have enough room for Lex and Cyborg Superman in 10 episodes? I mean, potentially. I mean, with the reduced cast and stuff like that, I'm sure they could. They're going to have to fill it out somehow, and probably having Tyler do double duty or something like that, or I'm sure they'll figure it out. I hope so, at least. After what people said when Godzilla vs. Kong came out, it's definitely Snyder Cult. All right. I forgot about that shit with them, like, coming after Godzilla vs. Kong. Scott, thank you for the super chat. Who do I want to see as leads in the Mandoverse film? I think you've asked me this before, but Mando, Ahsoka, and probably, Sabine. I'd love to see the Ghost crew just in general, and Ahsoka and Mando and Boba, I would say. Luke would be awesome, because I need more Luke and Ahsoka, but, I think the core Mandoverse crew is, I'd be fine with. Carson Teva. Give me more Carson, please. I've suggested a time jump, and they do a quick montage of Lex fixing his reputation, taking back Luthor Corp, and then present day he runs for president. Matches with the election year 2024. Oh, that would be really interesting. That'd be a really interesting way to play that into it. Also heard the comparison to Batman and Captain America. I have heard that one before, too. Though, I think more than that, and I think that's just because they're both hand-to-hand fighters, and they both have the same basic skill set. Oddly enough, from at least the last time, this may have changed in the last 5 years or whatever, but Batman, as of like at least 5 years ago, was physically stronger than Captain America if you compare their feats. Spider-Man and Batman have a very similar rogues gallery. Do they? Are we sure? I mean, they both have the most popular rogues gallery out of their respective universes. I guess you could say that. But I don't think they're... at least right now, I mean, I could look into it a little bit more. I'd need more time to think about it. As far as, like, if they have a similar rogues gallery. Nah, man, he's usually paired with Iron Man. People compare Nightwing to Spider-Man a lot. Yeah. People compare Blue Beetle to Spider-Man a lot as well. Batman and Daredevil is one that I've seen a lot. I remember back in the day, people were like, Batman and Daredevil should have traded names. Because thematically, it makes more sense for them to be the opposite, like for them to not have swapped names. And I'm like, you can make an argument for that for sure. But that's kind of usually where that ends, aside, again, the fisticuffs of it all. Because everybody's like, who's the best martial artist kind of thing always comes into play. I think you may be thinking of the history between Lex and Mannheim, that I agree, but I don't remember the show ever talking about what Lex did to Superman. And it's just implied. Like, they don't go into, like, details. It's just implied that they've had a long history. Mannheim and Superman also. It's just like Superman's been active in this world, so he's just got beef with everybody. I really don't like Flash Season 5. That's the Cicada season, right? If it is, that's my least favorite season. I think some of the history with Lex was mentioned in Season 1 a lot, especially when they thought John Henry Irons was a Lex. Yeah, that's what I thought. He was in prison for 17 years. The Superman has been active for like 20 to 22. So if there was a rivalry, it's been in years 1 to 3. If 20 years ago, 1 to 5, 22, Soup's debut. That's good. That's a fair point. I understand your opinion, but saying 8. But you're saying Season 8 that had Barry as the main focus is better than Season 9's back half, where it was mainly focused on Cecile and Keanu. I mean, that was also in Season 8. Barry's also... It's fine. I'm not going to argue it. I'm not going to argue it. It's like talking to a brick wall. I'm not going to go into this. I don't like Season 5. I don't really care for Season 7 and 8. Let's see. Aside from Armageddon, Armageddon was the best thing in 8. Armageddon does give it a lot of bonus points, though. But man, the Godspeed stuff just ruined Season 8 for me. Sorry, hold up. I'm mixing stuff up. The Thawne stuff with the negative forces. They should have added the beard specifically because at least this Superman and Bizarro had one. That's a good point. That is a very good point. Let's see. Oh, let's see. Superman, from this season, Superman and Lois was not good. Performance-wise, it's really good, but from a story point, it isn't that good. Again, the cancer stuff hits too close to home again. So because it's too relatable, it's not good. I was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, and I just can't take Superman and Lois seriously because it really hits too close to home. I understand, like, a hitting close to home, but that seems like a very... your reasoning just doesn't make sense to me, Adid. I apologize. If you don't like it, I understand. You don't like it, but, like, the storyline was beautifully handled from somebody who also has had cancer in the family multiple times. So, from some survivors and some who have not. So, like, for me, yeah, it was very close to home. I cried ridiculously throughout this season, but it was written beautifully. The story I thought was the best part of the season. I think that for me, aside from season 1, this obviously we only have 3 seasons. I think this is easily the second best season, in my opinion. Legend of Korra was pretty good. Let's see. Yes, I do like Legend of Korra. Not as good as Atla, but it is. I'm not one of the haters on it. His videos are quite funniest. Technoblade. It will be missed. Unpopular opinion, but I love Korra. She's overhated for no damn good reason. But she's amazing. I love her to bits. She's my favorite avatar between her and Aang. She might be in my top 5 avatars. Now, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that the comics-wise, Marvel heroes kill more than DC. I mean, in my experience, I think you're right. Gotta fix that comment earlier. I meant to say you're telling me Season 9's back half is better than Season 8 overall. Because Season 8 had Barry as the main focus, while Season 9 back half was focused on Cecile and Keone. I mean, they were just a small part of the back half. Because we're looking at 5 episodes versus... what? 10? 9? Whatever it was. You think James Gunn should make a cheap Superman movie considering the current state of WB, or go full Snyder and we get tons of action, CGI, $250 million budget? What do you think? I think there's a happy little medium. He all I gotta say is he's got to... I think that for it to work, it's got to strike a healthy balance between something like Superman Returns and something like Man of Steel. You need some stakes, you need some action that are going to keep people interested and engaged, but I think you need some actual character work and story that is going to keep people emotionally active as well. And I think that's something that Superman Returns focused so much on, bringing it down to some smaller stakes and stuff, but I think they took it too far one direction. So I think there is a balance that can be struck there. Someone needs to tell Lex that Bizarro Jonathan and Bizarro Lana are still on Superman's Earth. They could be assets. I forgot about them. They are still on Earth, aren't they? That's an interesting little thing. That'd be cool. I think he go back for John, as I think Jordan is going to be busy elsewhere, seeing how he's probably going to be helping his dad. He'll continue his I'm overlooked story beat. That's possible. What's up, Christian? I am doing well, thank you. Felicity wasn't in season 8, so it was a fantastic season, despite how much they talk about her and praised her. Really, there's only so much eye rolling my eyes can do, but it was still great. I don't understand the Felicity hate, man. That's one of those things I just don't get it. Sync this in. 9/11, focus on Keone. 12, Cecile. Team Flash, not Flash. That's fine. I'm sure Barry was not the focus of at all in the finale, right? Not even a bit. It was all on Team Flash. And sure, 9/10 had nothing to do with Barry either, right? Or episode 9. God damn it, man. Jesus, let up. Let it go. I'm not talking about it anymore, man. Love. The Avengers get passed on, killing because they're fighting aliens and evil gods. Not all the time, man. They've murked actual human beings quite a few times. Tony murked a couple of people just in Iron Man 1 alone. What's up, Stixie? I'm in a place where it is hailing right now, so sorry I'm late. Just stay safe. Stay safe. That's all I ask. And again, stop apologizing for being late, people. Your lives are way more important than showing up to this stream. If we get Cyborg Superman, what would you prefer? Him being a pawn for Lex, or would he and Lex be two separate villains with their own agendas? Probably to keep it cohesive, since we only have 10 episodes, it would probably make a little more sense for him to be a pawn of Lex. They could probably make it work the other way, so if I had to pick, I'd probably go with that. I think they're going to try and keep things street level for a lot of the episodes of Superman and Lois Season 4, seeing as how the budget is so cut. I'm hoping that because they axed all of the cast, that might balance out the need for the special effects budget. I'm hoping. I don't think I asked you this, but do you feel, but how do I feel about Deadpool 3 getting moved up, reportedly getting near completed with filming? I'm sorry, it's a little sus to me. With the writer strike stuff, with them not being able to ad-lib, and the fact that filming really didn't take that long at all for them to finish, it seems like, for what normally some of these movies take to finish up. I don't know, man. It's got me a little sketchy as far as what it is. Doesn't mean it'll be good, bad, but it is a little off-putting. But here's to hoping for the best. I just came home from Indy. Quite liked it, and then I see what's happening on Twitter. What the fuck is going on over there? Just keeps getting worse. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna try and see Indy tomorrow. If season 3 budget of Superman was $5 million per episode, then what will season 4's budget be? I don't know. Don't know. Not sure. Black Cat, Catwoman, Joker, Green Goblin, Lizard, Killer Croc. Oh, you're comparing. I mean, I guess. I mean, those are 3 examples. I can get behind some of those. The Joker and Green Goblin are very, very different in a lot of ways. But Black Cat and Catwoman are basically the same character. Lizard and Killer Croc also very, very different in motivations and personalities. But I don't know. It is what it is. How come Batman can't kill some clown that bombed a city? I'm starting to think that Batman has a crush on Joker. Morals. Ethics. Being better than him. Lots of reasons. Flash Season 5 is better than 7 and 9. I can't take Flash Season 5 seriously because of Cicada. I just can't. And Team Flash is just incompetent the entire way through. Like season 5 was like one of the few times watching the show I was actively just getting mad and felt like I was wasting my time watching every episode. People used to compare Moon Knight and Batman. Yes, those two get compared a lot. That's another set that gets compared a lot. Good night, Uddy. Hope you have a great rest of your weekend. Black Panther with cape does kind of look like Batman. Kinda. Actually, I meant Dick is often compared to Daredevil. Well, yeah, they have a very similar shtick. And Spider-Man, probably because they are mostly focused on the city and part of the city and have very little tech. Also, Gaffy Sticks. Gaffy Sticks. What is this, Star Wars? You know what I meant. The Scream of Sticks. Daredevil, Dick, both use those. They're both very gymnastic. All three of the ones you mentioned are very gymnastic, acrobatic, bendy. So yeah, I can understand those comparisons. Bruce has a lot of tech and is half the time on the Justice League. That's true. Omni doesn't like seasons 5 through 9. End of discussion. He's right. Eric Wallace produced nothing but mid. Good episodes were us sometimes getting lucky. Yeah, I'll stand by that. I mean, I don't hate... Okay, I don't like season 5. But I don't dislike any of the other seasons, but the quality just kept going down. And then we got some gems here and there, like Armageddon, and then the back half of 9 for me. And I still think episode 9 is one of my favorite episodes in the show. Top 10 of the show. Cicada was season 5. Yeah, I know. So now that season 3 is over, can I just say Coach Gaines should have been fired in season 1 with the way he treated his players. Agreed! And in small schools, most coaches also teach subjects like math and history. Yes, they do. Very much so. We had a bunch of coaches as teachers at my school. Yeah, I'm just going to skip those. I kind of consider Crisis on Infinite as a true conclusion of the Arrowverse. Do you agree? Yes. Also, do you think Bo-Katan and Mando will appear in Ahsoka? In Ahsoka, I doubt it. Bo, maybe, because they do have connections and ties, but Mando, I doubt will be in Ahsoka. For what, they only have 6 episodes for Ahsoka, so I think they'll focus on what they're going to focus on, because it's Rebels season 5, as they say. So, but yes, I do agree that I consider Crisis on Infinite Earths the real conclusion of the Arrowverse. I understand if people don't watch season 3 because of the topic is too much for them, but they need to watch the last 2 episodes. I think that's fair. Hope Luke has a big role to play in the Mandoverse and in the fight against Thrawn. I hope so, but I won't be disappointed if he's not involved, because there's only so much you could really get away with. I see Blue Beetle as a Power Ranger more than a Spider-Man. Well, Power Ranger's not in Marvel, so that's not the comparison we're making, Sean. But I know what you mean. But you can make that argument for most other superheroes then, too, if you want. But archetypically, Jaime is very much compared to Spider-Man a lot of times. Usually, most notably, Miles more than Peter, but he gets compared to both a lot. Jonathan's character arc was becoming a firefighter in season 3, and they completely forgot about Laura giving him Kryptonian tech. Yeah, they dropped the whole "we're gonna make you the tech guy" storyline. I think they just kind of decided his character is best placed not being involved in any of the fisticuffs. I think we need to have somebody like Lois not in on the punching and the laser dodging, and I'm fine with that. Fun fact: during the DC Marvel crossover, Dick and Moonlight merged, and they were called Moonwing. I don't remember that bit in Amalgam. I need to look at that. I don't remember that one, that moment. Marvel and DC do rip off each other a lot. If you're a nerd, there's not a big difference. Yeah, they do, but there are still differences. You only had 2 personalities, Dick Grayson and Mark Spector, though. Dude, could you imagine Dick just having to be forced into this cave, this mind prison, with all of Moon Knight's different personas and just being lumped in with them all? I think that could have been really interesting. Like, you could have played like in some kind of like internalized mindscape thing with Dick and all the different personalities. I feel like there's going to be a debate between me and Omni about the Flash. There's not, because I'm shutting it down. I'm not engaging. I'd prefer that the creators of Avatar: The Last Airbender continued the animated universe. They are, but with a Earthbender male and a Firebender female Avatar, with their own respective seasons. I mean, they're continuing the universe, but I don't know if they're making anything about the next Avatar yet. Because I know the next in-canon animated thing is returning to Aang and the gang as adults. It's an animated movie that, I mean, unless the writer's strike fucked it up, was going to be coming out in 2024 or 2025. I can't remember which. But that's one of 3 different animated films that were in the works that are all in canon. I don't know what the other ones are about. I can't remember. But Zora Lana as Cyborg Suit. They could do that, but that would also, she would also have to be a series regular if they're going to use her a lot. Unless she only shows up a little bit, they could get by with that actor as a supporting role or a guest starring role. This isn't a fact, I'm just assuming here, but I think Snyder spent about 30% of his Man of Steel budget on just the Krypton stuff. He could have saved a lot of money if he cut that out. That was definitely the most effects heavy the film got, I would say. At least the most visually loud that the movie got. But then again, all the Metropolis stuff was just, I would say, maybe not as intricate, but just as CGI heavy. But yeah, there was a lot of time spent on Krypton that if we just streamlined that, maybe the budget could have went elsewhere. But I think the action and the visuals were never something I bumped into with in Man of Steel. But yeah, the budget could have probably been softened a little bit and still maintained the same quality. My biggest gripe with Man of Steel is that I don't feel that Lois and Clark are actually characters. That's my biggest gripe with it. But I still consider Man of Steel to be the best live-action Dragon Ball Z movie we've had so far. Out of, like, the 2 we've had so far. How would you feel if Marvel did a reboot? Like adding other important characters like X-Men and bringing heroes like Iron Man and Captain America back? Well, I know this is a part 2 to this, but I was thinking that's what's going to happen after Secret Wars. I wouldn't erase the timeline, but ignore the older MCU movies or remove the characters or stories, and that would be sort of like what they did with Don Cheadle and Terrence Howard. Now, I think Secret Wars, like in the comics, is going to fuck up the timeline. It's going to maybe do a hard or soft reboot on the universe after that. But that's my current guess. Maybe people were just butthurt about Felicity not being Black Canary. Well, Felicity was never going to be Black Canary. That's not who she's supposed to be. They kind of wasted Black Canary's character. I mean, I get that. Like, if you're going comic accurate, I know people were upset that that Oliver didn't end up with Laurel, and that they fucked Laurel up. But they fucked her up from the get-go. But when I'm watching something, I'm not thinking of, like, most of the time, and sometimes I can't avoid this, but most of the time when I'm watching something, especially that's been adapted, I'm here for the story that it is telling. And the show told a story that made it a Laurel that I gave no shits about, outside of being an ex of Oliver and a friend. I like the character. I like her in the position they built her up. The second they tried to ham-fist her into being Black Canary like she's supposed to be is when it stopped being interesting. I could never buy Laurel as Black Canary, and that is the fault of the show. But it's a different universe. It's not the comics, and I'm not asking it to be the comics. So, like, I'm totally fine with a Laurel that doesn't become Black Canary. I like Sarah so much more as Black Canary. I like her so much more as White Canary as well. I don't know. The reason they went with Felicity is because Steven and her had more chemistry. Apparently. Supposedly. That's the reasoning they went with. And sometimes that's how the show works. Sometimes that's how TV works. I don't know. I never bumped into it, but I understand that aspect of it, but I don't understand why the vitriol went the way it did. To the extent and intensity that it did. Like, relax, it's a TV show. Nobody needs death threats. I was exaggerating when I said it's mid. I think the first half of season 5 filler episodes of season 6 Wally Grodd Thawne, like season 8. Oh yeah, I know. I gotcha. No worries, simulator. I didn't think you were like going down on it too hard. Phrasing. Tony Stark used to give weapons to the military. No, it wasn't about Laurel. It had to do with her abusive, manipulative behavior. Oliver. We actually talked about this. Did we? I don't agree. I mean, there was like one part of, there was like one storyline where I thought she was being a little unreasonable, but that's about it. By the time I was done, you said you understood why, Michael. I don't remember. We talk about a lot of things, but I just rebound back to my original thoughts sometimes, I guess. Do you think if Doomsday was ultimately the downfall? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't think she deserves the hate she gets to the extent that she gets it. And I will stand by that no matter what. Do you think it'll be fun if Doomsday was ultimately the downfall of Lex, or do you think Lois will once again use his proverbial executioner, or be his proverbial executioner? Probably Doomsday. I like that his own hubris will bring him down. I think that's what it'll be. Apparently, it was a mistake, and they are still going to be filming for the next few months. Okay, good. I assume this was about Deadpool. I'm sorry, Omni. Let's end this whole discussion. We both have different opinions, and yes, thank you. Appreciate it. And yes, still no word on Doom Patrol. I'm not going to be surprised if they don't release it. With how they've been treating stuff lately, I wouldn't be surprised if David Zaslav just decided not to put it on the service at all, which would be a big old middle finger to everybody else. Yeah, forgot about Doom Patrol. No, I haven't forgot. I'm still waiting for some kind of fucking announcement. Either that we're getting a release date for the final set of episodes, or they're just not going to release it. Young Avengers and Teen Titans. I mean, teen teams. That's fine. I don't think Batman has better morals than the Punisher. In the real world, he would kill. His moral only works in fiction. I wholeheartedly disagree with that. I very much so disagree with that. I think you can make that same argument about both of them if you wanted to, but you could very well... Batman can definitely exist in the real world. Just because the real world exists doesn't mean he's automatically going to start killing people. Yeah. That's not logically sound for me. Why doesn't he put Joker away somewhere he knows he won't ever get out? Like the Phantom Zone or one of the Green Lantern Corps in prison. I mean, he definitely should. But he's not one to rely on other people. But he should probably by this point should have built his own Supermax prison that he designed. All speedsters will die. His dialogue. Also, Cicada's costume was terrible. Wasn't it just all metahumans? It wasn't really speedsters that he was after. God, dude. The cicada voice. Jesus. Let's see. I'm getting worried the Max is going to air the rest of the show. That's where I'm at right now. I'm kind of worried we're not going to see the end of Doom Patrol. See, Sonic 3 didn't get pushed back. Which would be a box office hit? Sonic 3 or Thunderbolts? honestly, the way things have been going, I don't know. I would put money on Thunderbolts, but I wouldn't be surprised if Sonic 3 made more money. Green Arrow and Hawkeye are both archers, and that's pretty much it. Yep. That's accurate. What's up, Christian? How's it been? Did you hear season 2 of The Sandman has started filming? I have, and I just hope that the scripts are nice and polished and don't require any kind of reworking or issues once they get into filming, as some shows are known to do. Otherwise, Neil Gaiman isn't allowed to provide any input, which sucks. What if Marvel bought the Transformers? They can make an awesome movies with the Avengers. They do in the comics, because Transformers are published by Marvel in the comics, at least. They should create a Doomsday for the Flash. Ooh, Flash Doom. Doom Flash? That would be wild. Like a Doomsday with the Speed Force? I don't know if that's been done. It feels like something that they should have done at some point. Excited for you to watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. We'll be getting into it, man. That's just, for us to get into true territory that I've never, ever in my life seen, we'll have to at least get through most of Season 2. I don't remember exactly where in Season 2 I stopped watching, but I think it was in Season 2. I don't think I ever finished Season 2. But again, like I've said, I don't remember jack shit except for the big old W thing in Season 1. That's it. That's all I remember. No other specifics whatsoever. Shang-Chi 2 came out July 2025. Which would make more money, Shang-Chi or Superman? Probably Shang-Chi. The way things are going. Wasn't Deadpool a Deathstroke ripoff? Yes. Because they even like spoofed his name, but they wanted him to be look more like Spider-Man, so that's why they went with the color palette and the mask that they did. But yeah. It was death, pool, stroke. In a pool, you stroke. It's Wade Wilson and Slade Wilson. Yeah, they are 100%. Yeah, that's one they've been very they've been very open about. Namor came before Aquaman, though they became very different characters. Actually, when they were introduced, they were very different characters. They were just very similar. Thanos is a rip-off of Darkseid. I can't remember if Hawkeye or Green Arrow came first. I don't remember. But, you know, that's back in a day where the people that were writing Marvel and DC worked across, they would just have lunch together and share their ideas and stuff before there was this big old hoopla between everything, which is still more manufactured by the fans more than it is actually within the companies themselves. Grodd with negative speed force, Flash Doomsday. That'd be fun. That could be quite fun. I did like Speed Force Grodd. If James Gunn doesn't hire Stephen Amell for his Green Arrow movie, I think Stephen Amell will kind of feel salty about it, just like Mark Guggenheim was salty. I mean, I'm not going to be. I wholeheartedly do not expect James Gunn to hire Stephen Amell, but I would love it if they would do maybe some mini-series stuff in the Elseworlds. If they could one day, I think. But I think DC needs to get its identity in check before it really starts expanding too much into Elseworld stories. I think right now, the Batman and Joker is fine to play around in at the moment. It's just two different things to juggle. I think once you start getting to other stuff, it can get a little messy, especially with the identity crisis that DC is suffering from right now. It would be a little ill-advised to continue to juggle that. But I think the flip side of that, Steven made a very good point in one of his interviews, is that they should have just invested in the Arrowverse. And could you imagine an Arrowverse that had its parent company behind it and the budget to back it and make it this bigger thing? God, we could have had some really great stuff. Top 3 Marvel DC shows: Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Superman, Lois, Daredevil. Like, we're throwing everything together, Marvel and DC. I mean, Arrow's still my number 1. I still love it. Number 2 is going to be Daredevil. And number 3 is going to be Superman and Lois, I think. Imagine Flash Doomsday by using Grodd with negative speed force. Ooh. That'd be cool. That would be wicked. Give him the negative speed force and infect Grodd with the Doomsday virus. That would be insane. What's up, Gary? Love your channel. You're so positive. Are full of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. reactions going on your Patreon. Our full-length agent. Yeah, they will be. Once I start watching it, the full lengths for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. will be on the Patreon. Just like everything else, yeah. Deathstroke showed up in 1980, and Deadpool's 90. Yeah, Deadpool's was definitely a 90s baby. Slade and Steve Rogers also have a lot in common. I remember Panda Red did a short where he broadly talks about Captain America, and it ended with, I was actually talking about Deathstroke. That's funny. That's actually kind of funny. That sounds familiar. Do I follow Panda Red? That name sounds kind of familiar. Yeah! Yeah! I was making sure that was the same guy. I like his videos, man. He's hilarious. I'm surprised Secret Invasion isn't a bit higher rated. The writing's so great, it feels on par with Falcon and the Winter Soldier for me. I think it, so far, writing-wise, I think it's holding up a little bit better. Even, I don't know. I guess it's because there's no big adventures in it. It doesn't have the general audience pull back in it. It's just the ratings are kind of low. Yeah, I'm a little surprised. I mean, comic viewers, I think, would tune in because of the event, but then again, they're not really adapting the event itself, so I don't know. There's probably a mixed bag of like different things that are probably holding it back a little bit. But it's really good so far. Felicity is overhated in my opinion. There are worse characters than her in the Arrowverse. I agree. What's up, and also, what's up, Heather? Thanks for popping in. Here we go. Yes, I've been waiting for some opinions here on this behalf. As a hardcore Witcher fan, I finally really liked this half season. They stayed true to the books almost entirely. That's what I've heard. From people, because I got to watch it. One of the reasons my reactions came out so fast because I had watched the first 4 episodes before it came out because I was able to get early access to this show. I did for Blood Origins and I did for this, and I hope I can get it for the other thing because it just makes doing the reactions easier when I can record them before they release. But like, it's just, yeah, I've seen some people got to screen it even before I did, and some people were like, it's like a return to that what they saw was more close in line to the books than the previous seasons have been, and I was like, okay, maybe we're back on track. Maybe some of the shitty stuff is already kind of gone. I don't know. So I'm glad that some people that are really in tune with the lore are enjoying it, because that's going to be, I think, what makes or break the show moving forward. Felicity is awesome. Didn't like Laurel. Her becoming Black Canary never felt right to me. Sarah was Black Canary, not Laurel. Felicity is the most useful female character in DC TV. She is a genius. I mean, like many other characters, she kind of fell into the same trap we saw with Cisco, with everybody else. They kind of fit into... They struggled to broaden them out into other ways. Like, her character was a little repetitive, but yes, she was always the most useful. That is for sure. So yeah, but I do agree with you on all of those stances. What was the best movie of this year, in my opinion? In my opinion, right now, the best movie I've seen that has released this year, because I've seen some movies that have not released this year, as in, you know, I've watched movies that are not from this year, but like the past. Anyway, you know what I mean. Movies of 2023 that I've seen so far, I think my favorite ones, as of right now, hold on, let me double check, because I know there was some like straight to streaming stuff that I saw that I may not immediately remember. Yeah, I forgot about Extraction 2. See, like that. I just needed to double check sometimes. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Yeah, my favorite movie that I've seen so far, I just had to double check to confirm before I spouted it out, is Across the Spider-Verse. Across the Spider-Verse is my #1 right now, as it stands. What if Marvel Studios made a movie outside of the blah, 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 blah universe before Secret Worlds? That would be cool. That would be really interesting, but I doubt that they would do that. But that would be kind of cool. I don't remember Arrow Season 4. I completely erased it from my memory, so maybe Felicity was trash in Season 4. Yeah, I mean, Season 4 definitely is the weakest, but I don't hate Season 4 like I know some people do. It did feel off. It did feel like it didn't match what we were used to as far as the tone. The writing wasn't the best. Damien Dark felt like he was in a different show a lot of the time. Or he at least didn't match the show very well, but I still didn't hate the season. I think in hindsight, and people just get, like, it's more fun and it's more, I don't know. I think it's more, what's the word I'm looking for? Cathartic, I guess, to get angry about some. That might not be the right wording for it, but yeah. Yeah, I mean, I definitely think it's the weakest Arrow season. Like, that is no doubt. I just don't like Felicity. I do think it's overhated. The trend of hating it is the thing that kind of killed it. I'm looking forward to seeing how the season of The Witcher ends. Me too. Me too. And they said there's a very in-universe lore excuse that they'll be pulling on as for why Geralt's face changes. So I'm curious to see what they do with that. I didn't mind Felicity. I didn't like her all the time, but I could say that to any character who's been in an 8-season show. Right there with you, Sean. I think that is the most level example I think I've seen. That's where I'm at. Like, she's not at all one of my favorite characters. Not even close. But she's far from bottom of the barrel to me. Am I the only one who thinks that except for Lanterns, all of the TV shows James Gunn announced were mid? Where's my 13-episode Nightwing or Deathstroke show in the style of Netflix Daredevil? Probably a little farther down the line. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the Lanterns, but yeah, like you said, out of the shows that were announced, I mean, I'm curious. I'm really interested in the Themyscira one. The I forget what was it called? I don't remember what it was called. The one that was set in Themyscira's past. Paradise Lost. I'm curious about that. I'm interested in that and Lanterns. But yeah, everything else I'm just we'll wait and see. I mean, they were in Titans, but I don't know. I don't remember what that was about. If I was a superhero, I'm liking. If I were a superhero, I'm killing simulator, I would be to Batman? What? Sorry, I can't translate that sentence, Sean. Yeah, Doom Patrol is not shown in months is odd, and I'm worried because it's my favorite series. I'm really worried because, yeah, I just want to see how they close it off. Pessimistic thoughts. Do you think that more shows are going to be reliant on volume, sound stages, CGI, etc. due to climate change and increasing natural disasters? Oh yeah. Volume is going to, I imagine, in the grand scheme of things, probably end up being the standard for most shows. To be honest, Laurel wasn't a good character till season 3, and them killing her off pissed me off. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think her death was earned. I didn't feel anything about it. It didn't impact me. I was like, oh, shit. What the fuck? Okay. That was weird. And it just backed up. Well, she shouldn't have been out there. I was like, she shouldn't be in the field. She shouldn't be trying to fight anybody. I was like, she shouldn't have been suited up and out running around beating people up. I was like, shoots are right. That's where I was. Last thing I saw on Twitter posted was in April. Now, wasn't that when it was out? Maybe it was before that, but yeah, it's been a fuck while. At this point. Punisher's the guy who will kill you if you're slightly bad. Sincerely the best DC show in my opinion. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely up there. I don't want to just, because I think that gave off the wrong impression there. Doom Patrol, yes, it is definitely one of my favorites. I probably, like, while it's maybe not the, see, favorite and best are two different categories to me. Like, my favorite maybe might be what I think the best show is. Arrow's my favorite. Is it the best DC show? Maybe not. You know, I would maybe give that to Doom Patrol. I would maybe give that to Watchmen. I would maybe even give that to Superman Lois, assuming that they close it out strong. But my favorite will be Arrow to the end of time at this point, unless something just comes out of nowhere. Hell, Peacemaker is in that top 5 category as well. But yeah, Doom Patrol is fucking great. But when they do it, I think it works better as an animated movie because they're never going to find the right actor or gymnast or acrobat for the role. I wouldn't say never, but yeah, finding any actor that's going to perfectly encapsulate every bit of a character that we enjoy and love and has given our heart to, it's always going to be difficult. It's never going to be one-to-one perfect. Do you think Hemsworth's acting as Geralt will work? To be honest, Cavill is too grumpy and also too buff for Geralt in the books and games, in my opinion. But we all grew to love his Geralt. I only watched the show. I've said this before. I only watched the show just because I had an interest in that universe, because I never had a gateway into it, and Henry Cavill was the reason I wanted to watch it, because I really like him as an actor. So that was my gateway in. So he's kind of, when I think of Geralt, he's kind of what I think about right now. So Liam, I don't know. I haven't seen him in a damn thing in years. I don't think I've seen him in anything since Hunger Games came to a close. Because he was in that, right? I'm not like making that up in my head. And I don't know. Like when Henry was cast, I was like, that's odd. He's too pretty and too clean to be Geralt, was my first thought. And then, yeah, they made it work really well. As far as too grumpy, I don't know. I think I just really love the way he plays Geralt. It's a very reserved, but I know he's got issues with it because he also agrees with you about how he doesn't really talk much. He's supposed to be smart. He's a philosopher and all these other things, but he's always a man of so few words. But they've given him a lot of great dialogue scenes this season so far, so it's been balancing out. Yeah, as far as that, I don't know. I've not seen Liam Hemsworth in enough stuff, I think, or at least, especially recently, to really gauge it. But yeah, I don't know. My love for Henry Cavill only got more intense in the Enola Holmes films, because seeing his Sherlock gave me more reason to think that he could have been an even better Superman than we actually got. He was held back by a vision that didn't match the character. Who would I cast for the new Wonder Woman? Dude, I don't know. I got nothing. Nobody immediately comes to mind, I'll just be honest. If I think of something, I'll let you know, but right now I don't have anybody that I would just jump onto. I'm going to be honest, I adore Bucky to a degree, but that is certifiably unhinged. But I do not care about any of the other Thunderbolts, not even Yelena. Sonic's going to blow it out of the water. Yeah, but I think more people are wanting to tune in for Red Hulk more than anything else. They call him Death Flash. My opinion, but Agent S.H.I.E.L.D. was mid, only season 4 was good, so wish you luck. It's gonna be a long haul too. I hope I enjoy it, because I mean, if I don't actually enjoy it, I may just stop the show, because I'm not gonna continue a show I don't enjoy. So we'll see what happens. But if I do see it through to the end, I'll be watching it for 2.5 years. Jesus. Bridget Reagan was my Wonder Woman fan cast for a long while. I don't know who that is. Who is that? Bridget. Oh, she was Poison Ivy. As Wonder Woman, yeah, I necessarily can't see it. But who knows? Who knows? If Taika Huerta was out of the MCU, I think the guy who played Orm from Aquaman would make a great Namor. Not because he was an aquatic guy, but because he looks like Namor from the comics. Dye his hair. He's just way older than Tanakh, so that would be a little bit of an issue. Imagine how cooler it would be if Cobalt Blue actually created Doomsday Flash, Death Flash by using Grodd with negative Speed Force. So that would have been insane. That would have been crazy. That would have been cool. Had they have the budget for such shit. Green Arrow came first. Thank you. Zombie Bazaar design was good though. I wonder how they would trade him being multiple episodes in season 4 over him becoming Doomsday for one episode. I'm glad we got Doomsday. Not complaining though. I'm right there with you on that one. Hawkeye is more powerful than Green Arrow though. Is that true? I can't remember. I know Death Battle did them versus one another. I just don't remember who the winner was. That's true. But then again, I also don't agree with everything that they put out. What's up, Kay? How you doing? Green Arrow showed up in 41. Hawkeye came out in the 60s, if I remember right. Hawkeye survived the War of New York twice. Okay. Let's see. No disrespect to Jason Momoa. He was a great Aquaman. But if he is out, I think Jack Black should play Aquaman and Tom Holland should play Aqualad. Dude. What? Jack Black. Yeah, no. Stephen Amell's Oliver is not a good Green Arrow. And that's fine. But it's, like I've said many times, it's the only Oliver I like. I do not like the traditional Green Arrow. I don't care for it. I don't find him endearing. I don't find him interesting. Like, I don't like comic book Oliver Queen. I don't like comic book Green Arrow. I don't like any of the animated versions of the characters. Stephen Amell's Oliver is the only one that I like. So I'll not back down on that one. So what the multiverse is for, a plethora of different versions of characters, and you can like some, not like others. Howdy. I liked Indy 5 for what it was, better than Crystal Skull, and that's all I was hoping for. Nothing compared to the trilogy. Yeah, I don't expect it to live up to the movies of old, but I don't know. I've heard a lot of mixed things about it. I haven't heard any spoilers, thankfully, so I'll be giving my thoughts on it probably by the end of the weekend if I can. Grodd should create a Grodd virus which turns humans into gorilla like Grodd. Turn the planet into Planet Grodd. Dude, that feels like that has been a plot before. If it hasn't been, why haven't they done that? What the hell? So the preview for my stream right now just showed me reading the super chat from Scott, which I did like 30 minutes ago. That can't be right. Okay, it's not. Okay, good. Holy shit. For whatever reason, I guess maybe I misclicked on the screen. A preview wasn't live. That was about to flip me out. I was like, there's no way you guys are seeing me 30 minutes ago, right? God, that would be awful. Oh, fuck. Okay, we're good. Panic averted. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is pretty cool. Captain Marvel and Doctor Strange 2 confused me how that show worked, though. That's because the show was made by a completely different subsect of Marvel and had no actual entanglement with what the actual studios and the MCU and Marvel Studios were actually doing. I wonder what it would be like to be a Transformer as it was transforming. That's an interesting thought. I'm sorry, aside from Jumanji, I can only see Jack Black as a fan cast for Dionysus. That would be great. Dude, that would be a good one. Jack Black would be a great Dionysus. I'm sad for Tyler and Superman and Lois, but the Arrowverse are not good adaptations, I think. Wait, are you saying that Tyler's Superman and Superman and Lois is a bad adaptation? Because I can't get with you on that. But again, it's its own universe. It's its own story. It's its own iteration of these characters. There are plenty of comic book versions of characters that are not good adaptations of the core character. Hi, Frank Miller and everything you've ever written for DC. God damn it, man. Barring Batman Year One. Barring Batman Year One. Yeah. What do you think of the new James Gunn Superman Lois cast? I don't know. I have never seen them in anything. Oh, that's not true. I've seen the one guy, David whatever. I've seen him in Pearl. Though he looks very different than he looked like in Pearl. Like, it looks like he's lost a fair amount of weight since he was in Pearl. But he looks great. He looks like a really young Henry Cavill. So, I don't know. We'll see. He's probably going to bulk up. So, I'm excited. I've heard they're really good. And he was really good in Pearl. So, let's do it. Alexander Skarsgård is my pick for Lex from the articles we're talking about. Nicholas Hoult should just become MCU's Beast. That would be funny. Alexander Skarsgård as Lex. I mean, he'd be a lot older than our Supes, but sure, let's do it. Personally, I like Giancarlo Esposito as Lex. Yeah. Very typecasty for Giancarlo, but, you know, he's never been bad at anything. I want Giancarlo as Professor X. But then again, that's another fan cast, but that's also one that he wants to do too, so I'm fine with that. That's a good point about Secret Invasion, not having big superheroes to draw you in, which is just funny because it's all also Samuel L. Jackson. So, I mean, is Sam Jackson like the box office, like, crowd pull that he used to be? I mean, no disrespect, as I don't mean it in that way, but I don't know that he pulls people into action like he used to. If the X-Men are back in the MCU, are you going with the X-Men Apocalypse team or the original X-Men team? Like the cast or just those set of characters? Like, if we're talking, like, the cast, like, or the set of characters and not the cast, the original X-Men team. But if we're talking about the actors, probably the original X-Men team, except for Evan Peters. Across the Spider-Verse. That was when we were talking about favorite movie of the year. What do you think about the new Doomsday design of Superman Lois? Is the CGI Hollywood level? The moon fight was new. Was it Hollywood level? No. Was it really fucking good for TV? Hell yeah. Especially for a free network. Imagine if Superman and Lois took the fight with Doomsday to Mars, and they were fighting on Mars, and suddenly Martian Manhunter helped Superman defeat him. That would have been wild, but it would have been kind of out of nowhere. And who knows? That may be how the season kicks off, for all we know. Number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is Guardians of the Galaxy, Dungeons & Dragons, Extraction, John Wick, Mario. All good movies. Season 4 has me completely indifferent. Good and bad stuff. I hated the suit more than anything. I gotcha. I'm kind of right there with you. David T says Hugo Strange and Christopher Judge as Bane. Wait, hold on. Christopher Judge. Am I thinking of the same person here? Oh, yeah, I definitely wasn't thinking of the same person. Who was I thinking of? I was thinking of Mike Judge when I was reading that. I was thinking of the King of the Hill creator. Whoops. Yeah, Christopher Judge as Bane would be interesting. Womp womp. If you could bring 2 DC characters to the MCU and 2 more... You've asked me this exact question before. But Spider-Man and Spider-Man and Daredevil and Wonder Woman and Aquaman. Neil Sandilands, the actor who played DeVoe as James Gunn's Hugo Strange, or just get the guy from Gotham, B.D. Wong. Either would be good. I think B.D. Wong was a pretty damn solid Hugo Strange, though. Creed 3 Fast X aren't my favorites compared to the others. They're in their universes, but I still like them. That's true. Superman and Lois, I think something season 3 really showed me for John's character was that he has a need to save people that can be self-destructive and without regard for self or safety. Candace, his brother, firefighting. That's a good point. That is a good point. Never really thought about it in that way, but I just think he wants to be his own person and do things his own way. Maybe I don't think firefighting itself would be self-destructive, but he does stand up for himself and those around him, which is something Clark has definitely instilled upon him. Only saw episodes 1 and 2, but episode 1 felt like great return to form from season 2. I don't know what this one was talking about. I'm sorry, Noober. If Flash was a big budget show, they could have done a whole season with Grodd. What's up, Dill? How you doing? Black Canary didn't have much experience in the field. Thea had better training than her. Yep. And they kept telling her, you're not ready. Witcher? Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, I agree. But I think the first 5 episodes of this new season were great. Looking forward to Transformers comics. I saw the Spider-Man with the symbiote suit, and I have to go buy a Transformers comic now. Arrow will always be my favorite, but I think Superman and Lois is a better made show. 100%. How do you want Superman and Lois to end? I can't answer that question. Surprise me? I feel like Arrow Season 3 is overrated. I like Masao Katana and Ra's al Ghul. It's like 8 out of 10. You got hate because it's not like a 9.5 like Arrow Season 1 and 2. I agree with you. I really liked Season 3. I was shocked because, again, social media wasn't really what it was. I was shocked later in years to see like how many people were upset with that season. I liked it a lot. Was it as good as 1 and 2? No. But I still was on the edge of my seat all through it. See, the best is Daredevil. My favorite is Stargirl. 2 completely different shows that are good for their own reasons. I can ride with that. Interesting, Nuber. Why do you think Daredevil is the best? I mean, I think it's the best, one of the best written shows. I don't think Liam Hemsworth is a bad actor. I think he just has a daunting task to fill Cavill's shoes. I think he could do it, and this could help him on the map if he does it right. He's got an uphill battle, though. That's the hard thing, especially changing out an actor in a series that has such passionate fans as they are. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I would cast Gal Gadot. Lol. I would love to see the CW do a Batman show on the condition the writers are just as good as Superman and Lois. I mean, that would definitely work if the writers were half as good. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 4 is pretty good. Wouldn't know. Never got there. We'll find out next time on Omni Z. When's your next opportunity to play FF16? I'm hoping I have time tonight. I haven't been able to boot the game up once since last weekend, so hopefully tonight. Performance, choreography, cinematography, everything is perfection in that show. Daredevil, seasons 1 and 3, yes. 2, like said previously, it's not a 9.5, it's not a 10, but season 2 is still at least like an 8. Like, Daredevil is the most consistent show Marvel's put out that I've seen. But I like the first season of S.H.I.E.L.D. It has good twists and more connected to the MCU than I thought. Yeah. Honestly, Danielle Melchior could do a good job as Wonder Woman if she wasn't already Ratcatcher too. She's so tiny, though. Not, like, thin, because you could always bulk up, but, like, she's short. I don't know if a short Wonder Woman would work. Unless you want to Lord of the Rings that shit in every shot. People really need to talk about how amazing Tyler Hoechlin acting is as Bizarro. He makes it feel like a completely different character. Dude, Tyler Hoechlin just fucking continues to blow me away in this show. Like, he went from my least favorite Superman to my favorite Superman. Like, he went from, like, live action Superman. He went from my least favorite Superman to my favorite Superman. All thanks to a showrunner and writers that gave a shit about him and his material. So yeah, he's fucking great. His range, this show, I think capitalizes on all of it. You get every emotion, and then you get somebody like Bizarro, who's a completely 180 character, and now Zombie Bizarro, he's just like, and just fucking chewing rats. Yeah, dude, Tyler Hoechlin is fucking amazing. The one thing, at least, you can give this show is it showcased how good he and Bitsy both are as actors. Woo! Bridget Regan did a show like Legends of the Seeker, and she was very Diana-like in that. I think she looks better with black hair than red. I remember Legend of the Seeker like a movie, I think, that they made, but I never actually watched it. Is that connected, or is that something different? Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, she could work. She could work. I would buy her more than Danielle Melchior. Hawkeye did win the death battle. That's what I thought, because he can shoot way faster than Green Arrow and has more trick arrows. I feel like that's an advantage. Yes, for sure. Gotcha. Right. That sounds familiar. You like Oliver better than Arrow because he's actually Batman. But he's not. He's very different from Batman. I hate that statement. He's not Batman in the slightest. But I can understand. Like, only in that he's a little brooding. He's tactical. And he rides the lines of morality a little bit more. But he's got a different code of ethics than Batman. He's just put in the Batman role. I don't think that innately makes him Batman. Aside from all the Batman villains they threw into the show, because that's all Warner Brothers would let them use. Again, that's more on that than anything. There's a fucking gnat in here. I'm going insane. I don't get it because I like Oliver enough in the comics, but I understand. Yeah, I get the comparison, and he is the closest thing that universe has to a Batman, aside from the actual missing Batman. But he fills Bruce Wayne's role, but I don't think he is Bruce Wayne, you know, if that makes any sense. I feel like they are still very distinct. Thank you. Okay, they were on the right page. I just referring to your most recent comment. Yeah, you meant the Batman of the universe, not actually Batman. Yeah, that's fine. Just like Supergirl, she's just Superman. Like, that's not Kara Zor-El. Like, if you're talking about Kara Zor-El from the comics, it's not. Barry's the closest to being a representation of their comic book counterpart. There's still a lot of discrepancies, obviously. Then again, it's an adaptation, but like, Supergirl is 100%, more than Oliver, made to be an avatar for Superman. Which was one of the more frustrating things for me about that show. Imagine the final season having an episode dedicated to each villain, giving them the respect they deserve, and in the end, with a self-contained Cobalt Blue and or Reverse Flash origin. That could have been really cool. That really could have been cool. And Planet Grodd was the last bit. Okay, that was when I was asking about the feed. That's good, that's good. I'm glad that wasn't what happened there. Oliver didn't feel like Batman to me. Other heroes are allowed to be serious. Daredevil never felt like Batman to me. Yeah, I think we're on the right page. I think we were all on the right page, but I think Nightwhelm just worded it in a weird way initially. So I think we are kind of right on the wrong gate. Because, like, dude, like, when everybody would just boil, I just get a little touchy on that because I know, like, once social media got into it, like, everybody was, like, no, when you'd have those sect of people that wouldn't even call him Oliver Queen, they would just call him, oh, you're talking about Green Batman. I'm like, fuck you. Like, it's the most base level, like, turn my brain off. I'm not even, like, attempting to use brain cells kind of comment most people would make to, again, attack and degrade the Arrowverse. And it pissed me off to no end. So I do get a little touchy about that subject, man. It pisses me off in some cases, so I think we're all good. Would being a Transformer turning into a car feel like being a human turning into a ball? I have no idea. I also don't hate Emmy Rossum as a possible Wonder Woman. See, is this how out of touch I am with stuff? Because I don't know half the people you all ever talk about most of the time. Dude, if you bulk her up, hell yeah. Yeah, if you bulk her up, she'd be great. I think. I don't recognize her, though. I mean, Tyler Superman one is one of the only characters in the Arrowverse. Yeah, I knew he is. That resembles the comics the most. Gotcha. Okay, so that's what I thought. I love Tyler Superman. It's my favorite live-action Superman. Agreed. That's where I'm at now, man. Giancarlo as Jonathan Kent. What? Well, oh, wait. I mean, maybe. That could be interesting. I mean, Giancarlo voices Lex and Harley Quinn. He does? I don't know. I don't know all the voices in Harley Quinn. That's an interesting one. You were talking about how great it would have been if they had invested in the Arrowverse. So I meant that I don't think it would have gone okay with most fans, as they're not good adaptations in general. But they could have been, is what I'm saying. Because the reason that they went the direction they did with the characters is because WB wouldn't allow them to do the things that they wanted to do. Use the characters that they wanted to do the storylines that they wanted to do. So they had access to certain characters and they had to make it work to kind of get somewhat close. So, but I'm just saying, like, if they had been backed from the get-go or even had a budget or been the focus, even so, even if they weren't, like, for a long time, they were live-action DC. Don't care about, like, if you just disregard the comic book fans of it all that are like, oh, these aren't the actual characters in the comics, that didn't matter to the general populace. Those shows are raking in views for a long time. Those characters are more people's, like these days, are more people's versions of these characters. And they could have invested in that, and it could have been something that could have become bigger than it was. But if you want to go with full retroactive history, like if we started from the get-go with a parent company that wasn't a piece of shit, they could have very well done like a really good like dive into this world. Like, I get what they wanted to do with Arrow starting off, and you still could have done that and then branched that off into something else, but I don't know if that makes sense. I hope I'm making sense. The Arrowverse versions are executed well, but not faithful to books. Oliver, because that's what they were going for. The only problem was how they treated Supes and Batman and their cousins show. That's the thing I liked, at least, that I would like to at least clarify here, just based on the way that reads. Supergirl treated Superman really bad. However, Batwoman, at least, like, that show put Batman on a pedestal. That's the one thing I say about it. The trailer did not. The trailer played it for the various, and the show never recovered from it. The trailer, the first trailers that came out for Batwoman, painted a very different picture of what that show was going to be. And the trailer sold a show that was very much so in all of the neckbeards' minds when it was announced. However, when you watch the show, the show has a huge reverence for Bruce, for Batman, and holds him on a pedestal. So the show spent a lot of time like propping up Batman and making sure that everybody was like, Batman was fucking awesome. Batman would have handled this. He would have known what to do. And it was about like humbling the characters a little bit more about that. And that's not what the trailer did at all. The trailer was like, oh my God, man. But again, that's a show that was completely ruined by CW's marketing. And it just never, ever recovered. But the opposite was happening with Supergirl. They used Superman as a very shiny toilet. Oh my God. Anyway. Oof. Anyway. I know a lot of fans hate the Arrowverse because they're completely different than comics, and their depictions started to influence the comics in some ways. Yeah, that did cause a lot of animosity. I do remember when they started to make Oliver more like comic book or like TV show Oliver, and then they started introducing the comic or the show only characters into the comic books. So yeah, I get that. What's up, Rebecca? Yes, I got my wine. Gotta go. Tornado siren went off. Be safe, Stixie. God. Yeah, get out of here. The Arrowverse couldn't be comic accurate because it started the same year as The Dark Knight Rises and was the tone they were going for, and even DC movies copying The Dark Knight was Man of Steel. It's also true. It came out at a very, very different time, you know, where everybody's trying to do the same thing. I remember Chris Judge had to be cut from Dark Knight Rises because he made Tom Hardy look small. I remember hearing about that. And I remember people saying that they should have just hired him instead. I do remember that. Superman Lois Season 3 has shown Jordan has a short-sighted view of life and responsibility, and has not been shown to hold responsibility well. His actions have let the genie out, and he can never go back. It's very true. Again, he's 14. That's kind of the extent of it. Growing up and learning your father's Superman, like, that does a lot to your hubris, I think, and he's got to get a reality check. So he needs to be brought back down. I mean, hell, like what? Last season, he was like, I'm going to marry Sarah. Look where that went. And that's just how you think when you're a kid, you know? Superman and Lois should end with Kent in Italy and finally on their vacation. That would be cool. That would be cute. I was not expecting that Italy scene. That was also a great scene. Alan Ritchson would be a great Batman. He's huge. Great at being intimidating and reacher. He's great at pulling off being calculated and good detective skills. He's got the charisma for a Bruce. Dude, I love Alan Ritchson, and I really want to watch Reacher only for him. I think he could be a great Batman. I don't know who my fan cast would be for the DCU Batman. Like, I like what's his name? Jensen Ackles casting. Alan Ritchson would be okay. I think I'd be okay with that too. I don't know. It'd be really interesting to see who they go with, though. Superman Lois, I'm really annoyed by the number of times Jordan has hurt people. Breaking John's wrist. The fuck he doing that? And ended with Sarah, and he just says sorry, but doesn't do. I mean, I don't know what you can do at that point. He'd already done a lot to break those ends. But yeah, I know what you mean. What's up, Aditya? Just came in, so I don't know if this is my ask for. How do you feel about the Superman Lois Lane casting? Yeah, we talked about that a little while ago. I think they look great. I've not, aside from David Croswood, I don't know how to say his name, so I probably said that wrong, but I've seen, God damn it. Would you stop scratching on the door? God damn it. She's just scratching on the door for like God knows how long. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. How I feel about it? I think they're fine. I haven't seen them in anything. I've seen him in Pearl. He was good in the role that he had. He wasn't a huge part of it. He was great. He was fine. I don't know. He looked the part. He just needs to bulk up. That's an easy fix. It's an easy Hollywood fix. The Lois Lane casting, I've not seen her in a damn thing, or at least her name doesn't ring a bell, but I've heard she's great. She's won awards, so let's see what they can do, man. Superman was kind of boring in Supergirl and the crossovers, then got a good show writers. Superman kicked in, and now he's one of my favorite Superman show. Yeah. I'm not going anywhere near that topic right now. That'll turn into a whole thing. Since they're going with younger actors, Summer Shield as Wonder Woman. She's fantastic in The Magicians. Summer. Did I spell that wrong? I did not. Ow. I need to trim your claws. I could see it, but hold on. It's the Danielle Melchior problem. She is 5'3". I got no idea how Superman and Lois should end either. Maybe like Flash and Stargirl, the show just ends, adventures continue that never end. I like those kind of endings, and I think for something like that, it's a good way to at least go. I really need to make a limited series with Brandon Routh's Superman. Would eat it up. Have nostalgia for him. I think he's just great. I love that they brought him back as the future version of the Reeves Superman with like all that junk, and yeah, dude, the Kingdom Come suit on him, top tier. The Batman universe. I acknowledged that comment earlier. Superman and Lois end with John and Jordan graduating high school and a new chapter beginning of the family with Nest, and for Lois, a new life for the kids. I hope it's that happy. CW area is kind of a Batman role with the other heroes in the Arrowverse, and he fights Batman villains, but in general, they feel so different. Yes. Batman would hate Oliver in the Arrowverse. They would not get along, but that is all. Do you think Batman would get along with himself, though, to be fair? If we really want to play devil's advocate, I don't think Batman would be friends with himself either. Secret Invasion is killing it with the talking scenes, yes. Fury and Rhodey scene was fire. Also, the fight scene in the episode was really good. Unlike the first episode's meh fights. The bloody / John Wicky. Yes, I agree there. Oh God, no. She's a terrible Kara. My girl was done dirty. Yes, I agree. Like, I love Melissa, and I like they're doing for a very different character. Again, it's an adaptation, but she's just Clark. She's just Superman. Like, she fills the Superman role. There are some distinct differences, but unlike Oliver, they don't separate the two. Like, whereas I can't think of very many moments where they do enough to separate Kara from Clark distinctly. She is a vehicle for them to tell a Superman story with Supergirl. And yeah. Let's see. No, Batman would thank Oliver for saving the multiverse and recreating it. I don't know that Batman would say the words thank you, but he might be like, you did good. Or some bullshit. DC, Batman, and Superman are the main two in the Arrowverse. It's Green Arrow and the Flash. Yeah. Marvel Comics Hawkeye. Love the Hawkeye comic run. The art, the colors, the street level of it, and how Clint was portrayed. Yeah, I'd love to read more and more of it. Green Batman makes me think of Green Lantern more than Green Arrow. Yeah. Kara and Barry deserve to see each other one last time. I would have loved to see that. Batman would understand Oliver. He had to kill to survive on the island, and that made him a killer. His friend Tommy, death changed him. I would hope he would understand, at least. Depends on the Batman, but yeah, I know what you mean there. In terms of his code of ethics, Batman would disdain Oliver's code. More than likely. I think they would definitely butt heads about it. What did you think of the new Five Nights at Freddy's and Dune 2 trailers? I haven't watched the new Dune 2 trailer. I talked about this earlier. I haven't watched the new one. I saw the last one, the first one. I didn't post a reaction to it, but I did see the first full trailer they released for Dune 2. I didn't watch the new one that came out like earlier this week. I did watch the Five Nights at Freddy's trailer. I recorded a reaction to it, but I had already blown my notifications for the day. And if I had released it, it would have ruined my notifications for the next day, so I just never posted it. It looks like a fun time, man. It looks like a really fun time. Emily Rossum, to me, looks like a fully grown-up Nancy from Stranger Things. Yes, she kind of does, doesn't she? Flash movie flopped and they removed Thawne from it for a potential sequel we're never going to see. I would love to see him on a movie budget. Very disappointed. Who knows? Knowing Warner Brothers, I don't know. This Warner Brothers will probably cut the cord. Old Warner Brothers would have greenlit the sequel regardless of how much money they made, and it would have just continued to be a bad idea. We'll see what happens. May Witchout or May Calama is Wonder Woman. Look it up. One was in Miss Marvel, the other in Moon Knight. Whoops. I don't think I said her name right, but May Wish I could see. May Calama. Oh, I forgot her name. Was it Lila? I could see either one of them. I could see either one of those. Honestly, not having Laurel not visiting Central City right when the particle accelerator blew up when a missed opportunity. I don't get why they didn't and just gave her a stupid necklace. Oh, right. Yeah, I don't know. That woman treated Batman with a lot of respect. The trailer was trash, and it didn't represent the actual show. It also, very much so, spun that scene in a way that, again, made the neckbeards and the media riot. Hell, I was one of them. I was like, dude, this trailer was fucking trash. But I know how the CW cuts their trailers, and I watched the first episode, and that was not the context in which that scene was meant to be played. So, yeah. And I just, again, the show just never recovered from it. And then there was the Ronda Rousey, Ruby Rose stuff. And it just, yeah, it just had a really bad first start, man. The only bad thing was Luke Fox said he killed the Joker. But what does Luke know? Batman has secrets. He may have fronted that he did it, but I don't know. You're right. That is the only very thing that I was like, I get what they did it in that because they wanted to make him feel human and to complement what God fucking shit. What? Kate was going through. I was like, I could not get away from Ruby Rose's name. I was like, wait, what the fuck was the character's name again? But yeah, I don't know. He could have also made that up to help her through her guilt. Also, I'm still a bit bitter of taking one of the best martial artists in the comics and made her the worst of the show. Why? Yeah, there is that. Yeah. Fuck if I know, man. Those same netbooks are complaining that the MCU has more female characters in the forefront. Yet there are still, the male characters still completely outnumber the female characters. Yeah, it's ridiculous, man. The fucking fairyland these people live in. Elseworlds crossover. I think they heard the backlash there and had a little respect for Tyler in there. The thing is, though, if you rewatch the crossovers. The episodes that are written by the staff of other shows, like when the Flash writers handled Tyler and when the Arrow writers handled Tyler, he was treated like completely differently. When he popped up on Supergirl's show, It was night and day how they treated him. And then he was in Crisis, he was just a punchline the entire time. Everybody was taking jabs and swings at him. Like, and then they completely were I hate using that word because it's kind of been co-opted in a negative way by the Neckbeard crew. But like, they were like, hey, look, Tyler, the little bitch Superman. And then here's Brandon Routh, Chad Superman. Like, and he was clearly the better Superman and all that, but they kept like, it was a punchline in multiple episodes. Hell, they did it when fucking Tom Welling showed up. He's sitting in the back like, I'm Clark too, and both Lois and fucking Iris were like, well, this is Clark? Huh? This Clark? Every Superman was macking on his Lois, and he was just like, I'm here, guys. His own baby didn't want to be held by him. God damn it. That's the thing, though. Thank God for the fucking Superman and Lois writers. The tornado in Superman and Lois made me think of Man of Steel. It kind of did a little bit too, except, guess what? Somebody actually managed to do something about it. Neil Sandilands wanted to come back as DeVoe, but Eric Wallace never called him. Speed Force cringe. Family was more important, I guess. I think that was also budget reasons, and you have to think too, Speed Force cringe season was also the COVID season, so it probably is a little more difficult than just being like that. Let's see. My pick for Batman is Oliver Jackson Cohen. Now that name actually sounds familiar, but I don't remember who that is. Oh, that's why it sounds familiar. The Mike Flanagan guy. Luke. Batman? I don't know. Hold on, I gotta cover the top half of his face. Okay, I could see it. I can see it. As Bruce, I don't know. But yeah, we'll see. Years ago, way before The Boys, I had Carl Urban as my Batman fan cast. I mean, that could have been good. I could have went with that. I thought that was just scratching the poop bucket. It was not. It's her trying to break and enter. Tyler is not that bulky, and he works great, I think. That's true. But I'm saying, Tyler is still a lot larger than the David kid right now. And I can say kid, because I'm older than him. But yeah, I don't think they need to be super jacked, and I don't think they need to go the other route where they pad up the suit. That never really looks great. Cat is best part of streams. Fucking derp ass cat. She's learned too that she can actually jump on my desk. That is a recent revelation that she's had too, and that's making things even more difficult. I was imagining the scratching. This cat is barely in these streams, sometimes not at all. Now try not to kick her out too much these days, because I don't know how much longer she's going to be around at this point. Sorry, sad time. I've seen a project of him talking about being from the Midwest. Sounded like Superman. Really? That's cool. She loves Michael more than me now, since he completes all of her whims. Yeah, I've given her like 4 of her tube treats yesterday, when we usually would just do 1 a day, maybe 2. It's the only thing she even eats anymore. I mean, I've talked about it like on Twitter, I think, at one point. Yeah, I mentioned it on Twitter. And a couple of videos I've mentioned it, but not explicitly. She's got cancer, for anybody that has missed those thingies. But yeah, where did I leave off? The paw. Emily kicks her out of his office for streams. Oh, she won't fucking stop scratching the door because she's too used to being in here now. She just wants your love and attention. Like, don't be mean. Have you seen the FNAF trailer? If so, what are your thoughts? I think it looks really fucking fun. Really wild. Again, I don't know the lore and all that stuff, and Barry's tried to explain it to me, and it's fucking sounds batshit insane. But I'm excited to see what they do with it. Do you think Gunn is going to go for a younger or middle-aged Batman? Jensen Ackles wouldn't be a bad choice, especially since he's actually picking up some gray. I think it's going to be middle-aged, probably. Just, I mean, he's going to be a father, and this little bitch is so indecisive. Is going to be a father in there since Damian is the Robin that they're going with, and the Bat family exists. So you can go with an older Batman. Bruce canonically hates himself. So another version is still a no. Evan doesn't even get along with himself when there's time travel stuff, and he interacts with himself. He won't last long with C.W. Oliver. Melissa wasn't the problem. Oh, Melissa's great. Dude, Melissa's amazing. The actors on Supergirl show are what made that show fun to watch. It fucking wasn't the stories, and it definitely wasn't the writers. The actors are what I kept coming back for. And the actors were what I learned to love about that show. Jesse Rath, is that his name? I'm pretty sure. Hold on. Yeah, dude, favorite person in the entire thing. Chris Wood, dude, fucking everyone was so good. Do you see Nicholas Hoult as Lex or Batman? Definitely not Batman. Maybe Lex. I don't know. I have a hard time imagining him bald. Batman Beyond and JLU crossed over once, and both Bruces didn't like each other. Nah, you're too nice. He might have nod his head at Oliver, though. Or a grunt. He would. There's a whole issue on Bruce hopping around the multiverse, and only one who hated him was a Miller Batman. Dick doesn't have a code anywhere near as ironclad as Bruce, and he had issues with Starfire willingness to kill. That is also true. And Titan's code goes through the roof. Ben Affleck, best Batman. I like a Batman who gets along with the Justice League. I think there's a balance that can be struck, and I definitely, if we're talking live action, Ben Affleck is still my favorite casting, even if I do think in most cases he was mishandled. But he had the greatest potential, I think, that out of any actor that we've had so far. I mean, he has killed in the comics, but yeah, Titans was a joke when it came to Dick. So, I know, like, at one point, I don't remember the exact comic or issue or run this was in. I remember that Bruce was talking to one of the Robins. Again, I don't remember which one it was. But he was talking about how, you know, sometimes he can't, you know, sometimes he does kill, but he never goes with the intent to kill. Like, sometimes, it's not out of necessity, sometimes it just happens. Like, in the heat of the moment, it can't be helped, but it's never his intention to go out and kill people. But he, like, I remember there was a comic where he discounts the fact that he just straight up has never murdered somebody. Not murdered, well, I guess, it depends on your point of view, I guess, on that, or the legalities of it all, but he never went out with the intent to actually end a person's life. But sometimes in the heat of the moment, it's unavoidable, and he acknowledges that aspect of it. Because, I mean, there's some shit that superheroes do where you're like, how were there no casualties in this situation? You know, like when Doomsday's running around everything, they're like, oh, conveniently, this entire fucking area of Gotham or Metropolis or whatever was uninhabited. Everybody's safe, no casualties. It was a bullshit. You can't tell me like one homeless person wasn't hanging out over there. So yeah, I don't know. I don't remember where that was, but yeah. But he's not like going to choose to kill somebody if he can avoid it. But I still like the no kill rule. Yeah, Twitter view limit, Savage. I have not hit my limit, but I've also tried not to even open it today. Still can't go over how the studio burned all the Stargirl costumes. Yes, that was fucking... I don't understand that at all. That mildly upset me when I heard about that. Kate Kane. True, the simulator. I did like the chemistry he has with his team in Zack Snyder's Justice League. I did really like that. Yeah, I think that was the closest to he got to be. But he's still not my favorite Batman. I found out that Stephen Amell is coming in my country in October. I'm going to Raleigh this month. And Grant and he will be there. I'm only going the one day because Grant's only going to be there one day out of the whole weekend for this con. So that's just the day I'm going because I just want to meet the two of them. And I already got a voucher for a photo with the two of them. So that'll be hopefully fun. It's a 5-hour drive for one day. So it's a 10-hour road trip. So hopefully it's worth it. It'll be interesting. You know what you gotta do now. I'm glad Tom Helbing say how much worth Tyler was as Superman as a choice. He's amazing in the role. Me too. And that's the thing, like even when Supergirl wasn't pooping on him, his moments of humanity still were able to come through. Like any of the times he would talk or give an anecdote or a pep talk, like I could see a good Superman there, but they didn't care, is what I felt with the show. It's midnight here. We're gonna have to elaborate. Oh, you two talk to each other. Christ on Earth in that Justice League final shot. I didn't like that he was standing in the corner, but White Canary was in front with Barry. Get Katie Lots came first, but Superman's the GOAT. Yeah, it just felt like he was there, like, because he was Kara's +1. You don't do have to. Oh, that's you all. Yeah, I did not like Tyler's Clark outside of Superman Lois. You gotta find Stephen Amell when he shows up in October. In their defense, Tyler is the thinnest Superman. The joke actually makes sense. They did go overboard, though. Hey, dude, so we got a 4th season of Superman and Lois. Otherwise, it would have been one of the biggest disappointments if that's how it ended. Right? That would have been fucking awful. When you watch Dredd, Carl Urban does kind of sound like Batman. I do need to watch Dredd one of these days. I'm not big enough of a fan to pay 200 euros to meet and greet, or 70 for a picture, so I'm just going to see him from afar. Binoculars. Or a telescope. Viewfinder. I definitely... I don't know. I like the experience, and I get it. It is a little egregious, you know, what it does to meet these people, but I'm glad I met at least Kevin Conroy, like, literally weeks before he passed away. And, you know, while I can, I do want to try to at least show some, like, actually voice my appreciation to some of these people, if I can, when I can. I'm not, like, going to meet everybody in the world, you know, but... Also, it's an excuse to travel more than anything, and I'm trying to make myself leave and get out of the state at every opportunity I can. I love how much the MCU has become more diverse and inclusive with this new saga, and technically started at the end of Phase 3 with Black Panther and Captain Marvel, and give kudos for Feige for that. Yes, I love that about it too. My cat doesn't eat much anymore. She really will only eat, I don't even know what you would call it, like goo. She'll eat the hard food, like when there's nothing else around. Like pate, she hates. The gravy stuff, she will just drink the gravy. She won't actually eat any of the chunks. I don't know. She's very, very fucking picky. I didn't spend blah blah 50 euros, I think it's euros, pounds, whatever, for Richard Dean Anderson, who was one of my favorite actors growing up. I'm not going to spend any more for an actor I kind of know about. I'll spend it, if I can. Which I can at the moment. I'm just going to do it. Can the CEO of CW win Powerball and Mega Millions so he can increase the episodes, blah, blah, blah. That would be great, but he probably wouldn't put any of it into it. We're in a time now where, because of T'Challa's influence as the first black lead hero, it led to Sam and Rhodey getting the same treatment. That is very, very true. And even before Carol was introduced, who I love, Natasha paved the way for female heroes to take the front and center. I'm right there with you, man. I feel like Batman is a stronger character with his no-kill rule. I also agree. Do I like emo Batman or happy Batman? I don't like emo Batman. I wouldn't describe him as such. I like Batman when he is just more cerebral and like, he's always observing, always thinking, always engaged. He is always moving. He's always in, I don't know what you would describe that as. Methodical, detective Batman. He's not necessarily emo, but he's also not a team player. He's just like in his own world doing his own thing kind of thing. I don't know if I would go that. Like sulking Batman, not so much. But like the Batman that is just like, I'm here to get shit done and get it right and get it done my way. With a healthy balance of justice. I don't know. But in a way where he's also not completely confrontational with other people that are also trying to help. This is the fact that he brutally beats up people. I don't buy that people didn't die of their wounds on the way to the hospital or U.S. health insurance system as a joke. That is true. Yeah, exactly. You know, Batman, Twilight, and happy like Adam West. I like that there's a healthy balance between the two. And I think that Zack Snyder's version, I think, was leaning on that. Christopher Nolan's was close, but the thing I just still can't get over is the way that Batman fights and how kind of stupid he is in a lot of ways. Those are the things that hold me back about that Batman. We've even expanded with Asian, Jewish, Pakistani, and soon Native American culture with Echo. Yeah, I mean, they're killing it with that, man. And it's pissing too many people off. It just makes me sad to hear all the negativity around it all. I'm sure some had so much deaths that they blah, blah, blah. And it seems way too much in real life to not happen in the comics, too. That's fair. We don't talk about All-Star Superman and Robin. Or the movie. Didn't happen. What? I mean, All-Star Superman, that's great, but I'm not sure what you mean about the Robin one. I mean, by accident, Dick has chosen to kill. You gotta go, Omni. Take care, good vibes. See you later. Nah, that is 200 is worth the experience, especially someone who is part of something you love, like Kevin Conroy. That one wasn't nearly as much, but it was still something I wanted to do. I do want to see these people and at least if I can, be like, thank you for like what you did, especially for some of these things that were like a huge part of my life. But I have never spent more on any kind of thing or event than I have on this X-Files thing coming up, and oh, man, I'm hoping it's worth it, man. I'm excited though. The creators of Superman and Lois sincerely do not know the meaning of the word bit. A bit of cliffhanger. Yeah, that's why I was like, this was a bit. This is why I was so like freaked out at the end. I was like, this was what you meant? What the fuck did you mean it was a bit of a cliffhanger? What the fuck? That would have been awful if that didn't come to a close. I don't know what All-Star Batman and Robin is. Oh, he said Superman earlier. Yeah, he said All-Star Superman. Maybe he meant Batman. All-Star Batman and Robin? Dude, fuck that shit. Yeah, dude, like, name's familiar, though. Like, I remember hearing it from a nightmare or something. Dude, fuck that shit. One of our cats has cancer now, too. He's milking the sympathy for all it's worth. He wants the heating pad. He wants his food on time and on schedule and all the laps. Yeah, that's kind of where she's at, too, right now. I think this said 1 of 3, but only the 1 showed up. I don't play it, but I'm serious. If I did and win the Powerball, especially 1 billion, I would seriously fund Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 and 3. Hey, Respect. Apparently there was a pilot Wonder Woman show. Got passed on a few years ago. Yes, they've released some stuff about it, not at one point or another. A few years before the movie came out that included Carrie Elwes, who's also in X-Files, Pedro Pascal, and Adrian as Wonder Woman. Yeah, I've seen some of the stills from that. How did you feel initially watching season 7 premiere of The Walking Dead before and after? Which season's that? I don't remember. That would have been the lead up to the Saviors, right? Because 8 was like the conclusion, the war and the conclusion. What was the premiere? The premiere would have been right. Okay, so the season 7 premiere is when Glenn and Abraham. Yeah. Sorry, I had to map the timeline out in my head. I was actually, well, because I didn't have reactions when it happened. This was me. Woo! No lie. I think I was watching this with some friends at the time because I was back when everybody else was still into it that I knew, and yeah, I celebrated a little bit because I called it all. I mean, I knew Glenn was going to because of the comic, but they had been doing like the Abraham setup, like 2 weeks from retirement bullshit for like so long. I was like, what they're gonna do is appease the fans, but also shock everybody else by adding somebody into this. Except that they didn't shock anybody else because they fucking put on a big old neon sign saying Abraham gonna die. So yeah, I was like, woo! I don't know. It was wild. I wasn't like emotionally wrecked by it though. I knew what was coming, and I knew was I was just excited that I called it. Like I got 2 out of 2. 100% called it. So I was just a little too in my own ass and ego for that one. That wasn't a cliffhanger, Superman Lois. That was just cutting off the story for later. Dude, I think on like Twitter, I called it an abyss hanger. What's deeper than a cliff? Abyss. I remember that pilot. Saw bits of it, and it was pretty old. I've seen Tyler in a few romantic roles, but meh. As an ace, romantic movies just confuse me. Like why? Why are the characters so dumb? They just don't talk to each other in these romances. That's fair. That's fair. Gotta go. See you next week. I'm gonna go watch your Secret Invasion reaction since I didn't last 2 weeks. Take care. Hope you enjoy. Let me know what you thought. Have a great rest of your weekend, man. Apparently there's rumors that Echo's getting canceled because it's really bad. Same with Acolyte. The Acolyte thing, I don't believe 2 shits of. And they already said that they're dropping all of Echo all at once, so it's not canceled. It's still coming out. That's, again, neckbeards spreading their neckbeard bullshit. Acolyte, who knows? But I highly, highly doubt, because they're still announcing new stuff for the show. So, I don't know. Sounds like bait to me. Look, I didn't know there was going to be a season 4 to do all the DC stuff, so Superman and Lois cliffhanger almost broke me. That was the cliffhanger. Exactly. Strong reference to the All-Stars because of a comment of mine that was eaten by the chat. I think it was because I forgot to censor the word fuck. Yeah, dude. Batman and Robin comic shall not be named. Felt like a nightmare. Dude, I love watching like Linkara's breakdowns of the All-Star Batman run. Dude, I can't. It's so funny. You have 3 cats, one of them is cancer. Damn. Oh, that's what you meant by 1 to 3. I thought you meant like it was a 1 message out of 3 message thing. I thought like I was looking for other messages. My bad. Who would you want to be the new Core 6 Avengers for Kang Dynasty? For me, I think it's Sam, Carol, and then are going to be the new leaders. Sam, Carol, Ant-Man, Shang-Chi, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man. I don't know. Daredevil. Doubt it, but yeah. I'm the only one who reads Miller's Batman ironically. He's hilarious in that context. Yeah, but if you try to take it seriously, that's when it starts to fall apart. It is hilarious to read. Don't get me wrong, but as a serious Batman adaptation, if you try to look at it that way, it is definitely not. And the fact that All-Star Batman is canonical to Batman Year One, at least according to them, according to Miller, All-Star Batman is canonical to his Batman Year One run and the Dark Knight Returns run. In that context, it just gets even worse. I hear rat meat is stringy. I'm not even going to repeat some of the lines in that. The fact that he was planning on killing and kidnapping Dick Grayson himself is all you need to know. So yeah, I don't know. It's like, oh, I was already scouting this kid. Now I get to recruit him early. Now that his parents are dead. Blah, blah, blah. So like, it basically was like, he was planning on always kidnapping this child regardless of whether his parents were alive, or he was implying he was planning on killing Dick's parents. Like, it was like, what the fuck? In total, all the cats I've had is 13. I don't know if I've had 13. I've had a lot of fucking cats. Dad, a lot of cats! Yeah, you responded about a tweet calling it an abyss hanger. I died. Correct word. My cat is the third of the three is a princess. He likes to sleep on multiple pillows at the same time as on mom. I can still feel the pee. Oh god. He likes soft blankets too. Mariana's Trenches are really deep. I'm gonna call it that. That's a good one too. Don't worry, Summer. You're not the only one who thinks characters act dumb in romance movies. Yeah, definitely not alone in that. Spider-Man would be the one in the main Avengers, and Sam could because he's Captain America now. Right there with you on that one. I rewrote the comment, but it was again eaten by the chat, so I don't think it was the word fuck. That's weird. What the hell? Are you dense? Are you blank? I'm the goddamn Batman. You've been drafted to war. Jesus. Anyway, we've reached the end of the chat. I've got some stuff to do. So we're going to call it there, guys. I had fun. Great little weekend chat with you all. But yeah, let's hope everyone has a great week. Great holiday coming up if you're in the States. Be safe if you're in Canada and anywhere else for that matter. But yeah, I'll see you all in the next video, or I'll just see you guys next weekend.